You know, as far as football, I keep thinking before you're logging on, I was thinking the what ifs. I mean, what we missed out, the stories that we're kind of hoping, like, what was John, like what St. John Bosco was going to do without Ungiulegi, or the Miller Mossa at Modern Day, if Alan Manning was going to do an encore after a phenomenal year the year before. Were there any other question marks you're thinking, man, I wish we would have got to see what would happen with these teams for football?
Certainly Jake Garcia wouldn't have gone from Narbonne to La Habra to two schools in Georgia to play. Would have been interesting to see what he would do at La Habra. Yeah, lots of quarterbacks have come and gone. I mean, I did my 9-part series. I do a 9-part series every year, previewing the top players. They're done. It's done. I'm ready to run them. But if we don't have a season, I wasted a lot of time on some of those stories, although I'm going to kind of bring them back, and some of the underclassmen I'll probably save for next year. But yeah, there's a lot of people that I was looking forward to seeing. Would Modern Day play St. John Bosco for a 5th straight year for the Division I title? I would say probably yes. But Corona Centennial was going to be good. Sierra Canyon had its best team ever. They're the ones who probably are the biggest losers. They had almost everybody back. They were moving up to Division I for the first time. Their quarterback was great. Now they're being dismantled. Their quarterback is off to Georgia Tech. All those seniors are, it's sad, they're not going to be able to play. And so that would be the one team that I think is going to miss out on the most. They had a chance to compete with the big boys. Yeah, there's certainly really good student sections, from my perspective. Servite just does a great job. I don't know how they get all the boys in that school going crazy, but they do, whether it's a football or basketball game. I enjoy the Fairfax Westchester basketball games because it's really a packed gym and the fans are really into it. You get to see great quality play at the same time. I try not to go to games that I don't think are going to be good, even though the student section might be good, because I have to pick and choose. I have to cover 500 schools, so you want to try and see the best game more than the student section. But again, Servite comes to mind. I do a lot of, I live in the San Fernando Valley, so I get to see a lot of basketballs. Chaminade has the cage that used to be really good when Todd Wolfson was there. He went over to St. Francis and tried to create some things going on. So, in the public schools, I know Canyon of Anaheim had some great student sections when I saw out there. And so, and I'm sure your coverage of them has helped motivate others to get good, and that's a good thing. It's just going to be interesting restarting up because all these people have lost out on that football, basketball things. They missed out on maybe meeting a best friend for life. There's so many people that we missed out. If I had gone to a game and saw somebody that I liked and maybe I wrote something, somebody noticed that, maybe that person could get attention somewhere else. So there's so many things that have changed over these last 10 months because we haven't had high school sports, and the damage is going to be severe, but there's a lot of people who are resilient.
This year and last year, I mean, mainly last year, you guys were blowing teams out. And although it's great to see your team just demolish the opponent, it's got to be tough for the student session because by the time the third quarter is over, the game's already over, the backups and the JV teams on the field, and then these kids just want to go home and beat the traffic. Is it tough to keep the student section there or at least, keep the student section rally? Because by the fourth quarter, it's like, there's no point of cheering. This one's over.
Right. We had a whiteboard with us at all times and a marker. And so every time there was like a really boring moment, we would just bring up these random cheers. We had one that was about a cow pasteurizing. I mean, there was just like completely random cheers that had nothing to do with football. And that's kind of what kept us all hyped up. And then something else that we did a lot is we would kind of create beef with the other student section on the other side. And so we would kind of cheer at them like, we have spirit. Yes, we do. We have spirit. How about you? And so like, we would just go back and forth, and we would make up cheers ourselves that rhymed. And it was always fun. And actually during COVID this year, our band wasn't right next to us. They were like across the field
like behind the end zone,
like the track section. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so they were completely on the opposite side of us. And so what we would do with them is we would create cheers at them and like kind of have battles with our own band, and they would like cheer back at us. And I guess that was just a fun thing too that we did when the games were so boring and like we were completely crushing out everyone around us. And so, yeah, that's what we did.
Because sometimes that student section is helpful for motivation, or maybe just kind of to kind of pump up the team to kind of get something going. I mean, have you had any people kind of give you guys like a kick in the rear saying, hey, like we need you guys to go crazy?
If I'm being completely honest, I think that person would be me that's kicking other people in the rear. Just like I like a lot of emotion when like we're cheering and stuff. So I like tell people to pump it up. I mean, during football season, it wasn't that bad, but I know last year it was hard to get people pumped up just because, like you said, the games were so long and so boring and people just wanted to go home and it wasn't a fun game to watch in the first place. So I guess, I don't know. I'm always the one who like tells other people to like get people going. And I know some of my friends are like that too. I have to give them credit. They're exactly the same way as I am. Like